EF2 tornado touched down in Warren County.
We went from slight level 2 to enhanced level 3. Welcome to the 2023 Spring Severe Weather Show. I'm joined by meteorologist Tom DeVecchio and the newest addition to our staff, meteorologist Jacob Matthews.
Thank you, Tom. It's really great to be working with you guys and with the community.
Great to have you on the team, Jacob. We have an informative show for you this evening. We'll take a behind-the-scenes look at preparing for severe weather coverage and how we bring it to you. And we'll hear from the weather watchers that we rely on to help make our coverage complete and accurate.
So let's get started. Meteorologist Tom DeVecchio breaks down how we prepare for a severe weather event.
You may think that the primary purpose of a broadcast meteorologist is to give you a forecast each day. And while that is certainly a significant part of what we do, our primary purpose is actually to protect lives and property from the dangers of severe weather. It is our primary job to make sure that you know where severe weather is, where it's moving, its potential effects, and what you should do about it. When it comes to severe weather broadcasting, there are three major components: preparation, gathering of information, and then broadcasting that information to you. All three of them present challenges, so let's look at each one of those components. Preparation. This is an important component that is often overlooked. Before we can inform you about severe weather, we need to be properly prepared ourselves. First of all, it means making sure that there is indeed a threat of severe weather in the first place. Our weather team looks at a variety of atmospheric information to determine if the ingredients are right for severe weather. This includes soundings that give us an idea of what the atmosphere looks like in the vertical, other maps that show stability of the atmosphere. We look at information from the Storm Prediction Center and local National Weather Service offices, which have severe weather experts that give us valuable information and insight on the severe weather potential for our area. Once we determine that there is a threat of severe weather, the weather team then discusses the best way to cover the situation. Who should be here? Who's on standby? What is the job of each person that's on duty? We then make sure that all relevant departments at the station are informed of the situation. News is informed first so they can prepare teams to cover this severe weather situation.
Good evening. Crews in Crawford County have been extremely busy today, clearing damage and restoring power to thousands.
They also provide a valuable set of eyes and ears to assist us in the weather department. We then inform engineering, as they may have to deal with problems that arise from the effects of severe weather, including building damage and power outages. Once all this is done, we go to the next phase: gathering information. The weather department needs as much information as it can to determine the severity and location of severe weather events. We use a variety of sources to determine this. The first is Doppler radar. We use Doppler radar to not only determine if a storm is potentially severe, but it's also our primary visual tool that we use to show the general public the location and movement of a potentially severe storm. Notice I said potentially severe. A storm is not considered officially severe until the National Weather Service says it is. Only then can we broadcast a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning. Good morning. National Weather Service in Cleveland has issued a tornado warning, and otherwise we can only say that a storm is potentially severe. Doppler radar is indeed an excellent source in determining just how severe a storm is. But it's also good to have as many eyeballs as we can on watching the storms physically to see how severe those storms really are. The National Weather Service has a network of trained storm spotters that scan the skies for severe weather. We utilize this network, along with many of our own weather watchers and our storm chasers, to get valuable information on the location and strength of storms. Once the weather team determines we have enough information, we then go to the third component: broadcasting the information. Springboro, Conneautville, that you're seeing here, looks like the areas of spin are now just south of you. This is a live shot from Conneautville right now. Steve Marshall, our storm chaser, is there now. In the old days, our only way of getting severe weather information to you was by breaking into local programming and/or running crawls that roll on the bottom of your TV screen. These two components we still utilize today. However, we have other means of getting that information out to you through social and digital media. We are informing you for today that we do have the potential for some severe weather. Going live through social media, including live streaming on our website, allows us to get that information to you in ways that suit your needs. For some, the TV is still the primary source of severe weather information, and we are happy to oblige. However, the advantage of using social media is that you can use your smartphone to get severe weather information even when the power is out at your home and you still have a cell signal. Our weather team takes severe weather coverage very seriously. We take special care to make sure that all the components that comprise severe weather coverage are properly covered. And you have our promise that we will continue to do so to keep you safe during this severe weather season.
The Spring Severe Weather Show is sponsored by 814 Pressure Washing.
Pressure Washing LLC is a family-owned and operated company. We specialize in house washing, roof cleaning, concrete cleaning, and more. We eliminate mildew, mold, and algae on residential and commercial properties. Contact us today for your free quote. Give us a call at 814-731-8726 or visit us online for faster service anytime at www.814pressurewashing.com.
Save gas with a Kia Hybrid. Save money with Auto Express Kia, where you'll get an all-wheel drive Kia Sportage LX Hybrid for just $349 a month. $349 a month.
I want to see ya in a Kia.
Concerned about your health? Wondering if you can keep living on your own? Call the Life Program, a unique managed care plan for eligible seniors in northwestern Pennsylvania. The Life Program provides comprehensive in-home health care and support services to help seniors live independently in their own home. To request a no-cost in-home consultation, call today. If you're concerned about your health and independence, call the Life Program, because home is where you want to be.
ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, jet ski, watercraft. No matter what you ride, Kawasaki has a seat for you.
And Off-Road Express is your Kawasaki destination.
Right now, you choose off-road or on-road. $2,000 off Kawasaki side-by-sides and $2,000 off Kawasaki motorcycles.
Off-Road Express, get out and play.
Join me for This Week in Pennsylvania, Sundays at 10, here on Jet 24.
We shopped all over, and their warranty couldn't be beat. And that saves us money down the road. That's my kind of Kia.
Lease or buy a fuel-efficient Forte for $359 a month.
I want to see ya in a Kia.
Welcome back. As you saw in the last segment, there are a lot of people here inside the newsroom and inside our studios that help us prepare for severe weather. But we rely on a lot of people outside of the studio as well. Tom Atkins caught up with some of our weather watchers as well as some of our Skywarn operators to see how they help us prepare for severe weather.
41 Lauren, Edinboro, and Liz and Corey. 44 Becky in French Creek. 45 Kathy in Sagertown. Well, most people don't live at airports, so we have weather watchers to fill in the gaps here at Jet 24 and Fox 66. And we're starting in the rooftop of Warren County, over 2,000 feet up in elevation, to our first weather watcher, Mr. Gene Lang. He's been with us for over 20 years. So Gene, what made you want to become a weather watcher?
Well, I've been reporting weather and temperatures and so on to a radio station down in Warren for years, and I just like to watch the weather and see what's going on. And living up here in Scandia, it gets pretty wild at times in the winter time, so I kind of try to keep track of the weather.
Tell us about your weather station.
Well, this is the Davis Vantage Pro 2. This gives you the wind velocity and the direction. Right now it's 1 mile an hour to the west-northwest, and it gives you the temperature. The low during the night was 29.6. It gives the rain since midnight. I could punch some more buttons here and give the storm totals and that sort of thing. What I do is I call Jet TV every night at about 10:30 for Tom. Usually in the mornings I'll call Tom DeVecchio at about 20 minutes to 12 and give him the weather conditions for his noon weather.
From rural Warren County in Scandia to the City of Warren Fire Department, these folks are also our weather watchers. They work with the National Weather Service and State College and with Jet TV and Fox 66, providing quality weather observations for both entities.
So what we report to them on a daily basis is the weather observations, whether it's sunny, cloudy, foggy, how much snow we received overnight, the melted and the accumulated snow on the ground, and the high and the low temperature for the day and the current temperature.
And do you measure rainfall for them?
Yep, we'll measure rainfall as well. We have a special tube that everything goes into. We melt the snow in the wintertime and just collect the rain in the summertime or whenever it rains, and we measure that out. So the importance of collecting that data is obviously for record keeping for highs and lows, and what the river observation is as well. We check that. If there's a potential for flooding, it's good for us to report that to you if we've had significant weather events. Any abnormalities that we've seen here that maybe you might not see in Erie. So severe weather in Warren County, it's a different animal, I guess you could say. We've kind of termed a certain part of the city Tornado Alley. There's been 2 or 3 different significant weather events. One of them was an F2, I believe it was in 2019, came through on a Sunday night and did quite a bit of damage in the county. We were out most of the night dealing with storm-related calls, several trees down, houses that were damaged.
Now we're going to move on to French Creek, New York in Chautauqua County, where our weather watcher there, Becky Linton, uses an Accurite weather station as well as some old-fashioned technology. Tell us about the weather that you experience here in French Creek, New York, and how different it is.
Well, we get a lot of snow. We get a lot of snow over here. We get thunderstorms over here. Sometimes they're not the same as they are in Erie. It's always different. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I have dairy goats, so I go to the barn. Before I go, I look at the weather. I go to the window, open the window, look outside, see what it's doing. I come in and look at the temperature in here, and I send my temperature in to Tom DeVecchio in the morning. And then when I come back from the barn, I check it again to see if there's been a change, if the temperature's gone up or down, and if it has, I tell him that. And several times during the day, I do the same thing. I look to see what's going on, and if there's been any rain, I check it on here to see how much is in my rain gauge. And then I do it in the evening. Before I go to bed, I do the same thing again. I have been interested in weather all my life. I have kept a journal since the early 70s, and I write down the temperature every day and what the weather's doing every day, and it's just interesting to me.
This is our annual Skywarn training class, where we will train people like our weather watchers to become storm spotters in our area. We have weather watchers from all over northwestern Pennsylvania and New York State. We also have the added benefit that some of them have become Skywarn trained, so they could spot severe weather for the National Weather Service and us.
It's interesting. I've always been interested in weather. This training does help you. It helps to learn more and more.
It helps refresh what we've been exposed to. We've been doing these things for many years. I've been involved in it from the amateur radio, Skywarn perspective, volunteer firefighter, so I'm a first responder, and emergency communications, emergency management. So they all tie in together.
The Weather Watcher program has been in effect for decades, and it's always great to have a success story. Well, we've got one here in Titusville. A young man by the name of Casey Schaup became my weather watcher in elementary school. He never missed a day of school, and then he went on to Penn State to get a meteorology degree. Now he works outside of Washington, D.C., downloading hurricane data from flights that go into those storms. Of course, he can't be here anymore to report Titusville's weather, so his parents, John and Karen Schaup, have taken over the responsibilities.
When he went off to college, he
obviously couldn't do it anymore, so he kind of bequeathed me passed the reins, I guess, to me.
Well, when Casey was about 4 years old, he stated that he always wanted to be a meteorologist, and for his 9th birthday, his aunt got him interested in doing the weather watchers and calling that in.
He obviously couldn't do it anymore, and you know, I guess I didn't want to let him down. I'm like, you know what, you've done it, and you know what, I'll take over for you, bud.
Now we've traveled south into Venango County in the town of Cooperstown, and we're on the porch with Bob and Kitty. It's so cool that you're out here in Venango County because you're technically in the Pittsburgh market, not the Erie market.
We saw you, of course, on Jet and Fox News. You're on those 2 stations, and she got to see you, and we saw the weather watchers. And then she wrote, I think, an email to you, somehow got your email address, yes, and ask you, you know, are you interested in us sending anything? We live far away, you know. Right. We're out of your area, really. And you said, yeah. So she started to do it. And then after a while, then I took over, and she does it occasionally. Sure. And we send you information.
What I really like is your weather instruments. You've got the state-of-the-art Davis, but you've got barometers that are probably 75 years old or more, old school. And it's quite a collection, and it makes your reports even more valuable.
It is very different up here. It's much more difficult to forecast the weather, as we talked about, and we're going by a lot of what I've learned from you over the years, and putting it together and seeing the storm come in and know. If Tom said, you know, hey, there's a tornado warning, if I can catch that before I lose all contact with the world, right, I know I'm looking for that. So, you know, I'm looking out here, and I'm ready to take cover. You know, there's things that could save my life easy by what you're saying. I know you're not scaring me. That's the part, is I know you're not blowing it up to get your ratings up. You're giving me the facts.
Our last stop today is Espyville, across Pymatuning Lake from Ohio, where a lot of storms move into our area. Our weather watcher here, Roseanne Staub, has been with us for 20 years, and in addition, she is also Skywarn trained. So she's an expert in the area and an expert at spotting storms, so we can keep everyone safe in our region.
We like to watch the systems coming in from the west. A lot of those systems that come up from the Gulf of Mexico tend to stretch all the way up to Cleveland, moving westward, building a lot of wall clouds sometimes. Our lake is actually a blessing with breaking up some of those systems. Recently we've had a lot of tree damage, downed trees, high winds. So we tend to watch those systems coming in Detroit, Cleveland, and the Midwest. Sometimes by the time they get here, they've calmed down a little bit, but Tom will call up, do you see anything? There's some dark clouds, we've got some rotation, what are you seeing? And luckily, I'm always so blessed not to see anything. Sometimes we do, but...
Because you have been Skywarn trained.
Yes, Skywarn. Me and Ann from Jamestown both took Skywarn, and they train you on how to differentiate between a low traveling scud cloud with no rotation that looks scary versus a funnel cloud which comes out of a wall cloud and has rotation. You always want to check that rotation before you report anything.
It's a whole lot of fun to do these road trips and visit all our weather watchers far and wide. They provide a valuable service. Radar is great, satellite is great, but nothing beats eyes and ears on the ground. They serve their communities and they make our forecasts better. So it's been a fun tour, and they're valuable to us and will be for as long as we're on the air.
The Spring Severe Weather Show is sponsored by 814 Pressure Washing. That patient soul, that loving heart, noisy, playful, messy, or smart. Let's show off those loyal companions. Submit your cute pet picture at YourErie.com and watch Good Morning Erie to see if your pet gets featured. Brought to you by Auto Express Mazda.
814 Pressure Washing LLC is a family-owned and operated company. We specialize in house washing, roof cleaning, concrete cleaning, and more. We eliminate mildew, mold, and algae on residential and commercial properties. Contact us today for your free quote. Give us a call at 814-731-8726 or visit us online for faster service anytime at www.814pressurewashing.com.
Watch me. Watch me grapple, move, and pin. When I hit the mat, don't underestimate the grin. I've got state championships and medals to show, but it's about more than just winning. This you should know. Overcoming odds through therapy and care. The road was long, now opponents beware. Watch me. Game-changing sports medicine at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
No matter what spring blows your way, your weather authority has you covered. Turn to Erie's most experienced team of meteorologists, Tom Atkins and Tom DeVecchio, tracking storms minute by minute and warning you of wet conditions, giving you the latest weather updates and what to expect for your day ahead, so you and your family know the best time to head outside and enjoy the day. Be prepared and stay safe with your weather authority on Jet 24.
One justice for all. Judge Judy.
We've had our share of some severe weather so far this season, 2023. We've had several strong wind events, including some winds that hit 100 miles an hour at times in March, and even early April we've had some as well. So you may be wondering, well, what kind of severe weather events are most common and what's some of the data that we've had? So I checked out Erie County over the past 30 years and specifically at the three most common severe weather events: strong wind events, tornadoes, and hail. And let's start with storm winds. And by far the most common of the severe weather events are the storm winds. In the past 30 years, we've had 170 storm events with wind gusts of at least 55 miles an hour or more. Did result in 1 death and 3 injuries and caused more than $6 million in property damage. So definitely a common event, the strong gusty winds. As for tornadoes, we've had about 5 events in the past 30 years, including the one several years back that hit Erie, the first one officially to hit Erie. And overall, 7 injuries from those 5 events. And even though they're much less, it did cause a little less than $2 million in property damage. As we head toward hail, in the middle ground there, 89 events. Didn't result in any injuries, but as you might expect, it did result in a lot of property damage. We've had about $1.5 million in property damage from hail over the past 30 years. And crop damage looks like about $2 million. So we have had our share of some severe weather events in Erie County over the past 30 years, and that's some of the data that we came up with.
Thanks for staying with us. We learned how a forecast is put together in severe weather situations and how we try to make that forecast we deliver to you as accurate as possible. Inevitably, sometimes there's information out there that's not accurate. Jacob Matthews breaks down fact versus myth for severe weather safety.
What is fact? What is fiction when it comes to severe weather? There are dozens of severe weather events across the U.S. every year, and chances are you experienced one or more of them. And there are many weather myths out there that can often mislead people. One myth is that if the skies are clear and not raining, you are safe from lightning. In fact, lightning strikes can happen several miles away from a thunderstorm. If there are storms in your area, but the skies above you are clear, that does not mean you are safe from the dangers of lightning. Precautions should be taken. The second myth is that lightning does not strike the same location twice. In fact, lightning can strike the same place or person twice. Tall buildings can be hit by lightning several times a year. In fact, according to data compiled by the Finland-based company Vaisala, The Willis Tower in Chicago was hit with 250 lightning strikes between 2015 and 2020. The third myth is that heavy and larger vehicles can drive through floodwaters safely. But the fact is that driving or walking through rising waters is never safe, even in oversized or heavy vehicles. Any vehicle can float away in just a few feet of water. So a good phrase to remember is turn around, don't drown. There are many other myths about severe weather, so stay tuned with your weather authority for the most accurate weather information to help you stay safe from severe weather.
Thank you, Jacob. We'll take a short break and be right back.
The Spring Severe Weather Show is sponsored by 814 Pressure Washing.
Save gas with a Kia Hybrid. Save money with Auto Express Kia, where you'll get an all-wheel drive Kia Sportage LX Hybrid for just $349 a month. $349 a month.
I want to see ya in a Kia.
Bob Ferrando Ford World has earned a distinction as the 2023 Ford Dealer of the Year throughout the whole state of Pennsylvania. This award embodies our remarkable service and dedicated sales teams for providing the best service in this state for our customers. I would like to thank each and every one of our loyal customers for helping us achieve this milestone. Just one more reason why you should buy your next car or truck at Bob Ferrando Ford World in Girard.
814 Pressure Washing LLC is a family-owned and operated company. We specialize in house washing, roof cleaning, concrete cleaning, and more. We eliminate mildew, mold, and algae on residential and commercial properties. Contact us today for your free quote. Give us a call at 814-731-8726 or visit us online for faster service anytime at www.814pressurewashing.com.
To complete coverage in local sports, you gotta watch Friday Night Lights. Nobody covers high school, college, and minor league sports like Jet 24 Action Sports. We bring you all the games, all the action, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, hockey. If your sport is in season, we're on it every Friday night. From the best plays of the night to the final scores, we've got your games.
Friday Night Lights, sponsored by TotalFoundationSolutions.com. 30 years of foundation repair expertise.
We shopped all over, and their warranty couldn't be beat. And that saves us money down the road. That's my kind of Kia.
Lease or buy a fuel-efficient Forte for $359 a month.
I want to see ya in a Kia.
I'm Jet 24 meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
Your weather authority now on Alexa.
Thanks for joining us for our 2023 Spring Severe Weather Show. We appreciate your loyalty over the years. I want to thank meteorologist Tom DeVecchio and our new meteorologist Jacob Matthews. Please continue to follow us on Jet, Fox, and YourErie.com and make it a great rest of your day.